Hello children. Today we are going to discuss some experiments on absorption and conduction of water in the plant. Absorption and conduction of water in the plant. Now you can see here we have taken two test tube. Actually that is one test tube. In test tube water is kept and a plant, rooted plant, means plant must have the root. Say balsam plant, one garden plant balsam, we will do all the experiment with that plant only, easily available in the garden. It is a balsam plant and we have kept the balsam plant in a test tube and we have put a vial on the upper layer of the test tube. Leave this test tube for some time. After few hours, this condition will arise. Means water level will go down. Water level in the test tube will go down. Now, why this water level went down? What happened to the water? Let us discuss. Dear children, these water were absorbed by the roots of the balsam plant. And due to absorption of water, the water level went down. And why we have put vial? Vial is lighter than the water. It forms a film, a layer over the surface of the water and prevents it from the evaporation, surface evaporation. Means from here water is not evaporating because vial is there, a layer of vial is there. So if the water is not evaporating from the surface, naturally it is absorbed by the leaves. Absorbed by the roots. What does it prove? It proves that root absorbs water. So this experiment is clear. Now keep in mind, wherever there is root in the test tube, means it is showing absorption by the root. In the next chapter, while I will teach you transpiration, same experiment will be there, but their root will not be there. Here, root is present. It means it shows absorption of water by the root. And why vial is put? Vial is to avoid surface evaporation. And after some time, the water level will go down, which proves absorption of water by the roots. So this experiment is clear. Now, dear children, we are knowing that xylem conducts water from root to different part of the plant body. Xylem carries jal, which I have taught you. And how can you prove that xylem only conducts water? No other tissue is there in the plant which conducts water other than xylem. Do one thing. Consider here also a balsam plant or any plant, a small herbaceous plant. Put in a beaker and beaker must contain colored water. Leave it for whole night. And in the morning, what you will do, cut this stem. A stem part is cut and one section, a slide is made. Section, a small part is cut like this and kept on a test tube, kept on a slide and watch under microscope. Dear children, the xylem part will appear red colored. Xylem is present in the stem, in leaves. Any part which you will cut, make section, cross section, and if you will observe under microscope, the xylem will appear red colored or colored whatever color you have taken here. Suppose we have taken red color, then the xylem will appear red. What does it proves? It proves that xylem conducts water. Xylem transport or conducts water. Now, this experiment by other method also we can see. Let us discuss one more method which proves that xylem conducts water. Take two plants, one beaker here, another beaker. In this beaker, cut the stem putting inside the water. In this, water is there. Both the beaker, water is there. And inside the water only, cut the stem. Otherwise, it will absorb water. Inside the water only, cut the stem of the plant. Now, we have cut the stem of the plant. And leaves are here. In both, leaves are there. See here, leave the leaves. Here also, and what you will do, cut the outer part of the stem. Dear children, just below the bark, phloem is present and xylem is just in the middle of the stem. So, remove the xylem part. Remove the phloem part. By knife, nicely we will cut in such a way that outer part is removed. Suppose this is the stem. By blade we can cut it and remove the outer part from all sides. Leave it for some time. What will happen? The leaf will remain turgid, tight. Yesterday we have discussed. The leaf will remain turgid. Why the leaf will remain turgid? Because water is already going through the xylem. In next beaker, remove the inner part of the stem and leave outer part. What we have done, inner part we have removed and outer part of the stem we have left. What will happen here? After some time, the condition of the leaf will become this, will wilt, will fold, murjhana. Why? Because xylem is removed. Xylem was present in the middle of the stem, which was removed and was unable to conduct water. So water was not reaching the leaves. Leaves lose its turgidity and wilt. What does it proves? It proves that xylem conducts water. So this part is clear that xylem is the only tissue which conducts water from root to different part of the plant body. And we are knowing that phloem conducts food. How to prove that phloem conducts food? Very easy. Take a potted plant. Take a potted plant. Let us take a potted plant. And this is the stem of the plant. Take a potted plant and do one thing. Remove the phloem. I have told you that just below the bark, phloem is present. remove the phloem from all sides. And leave the plant for some day. The plant will die? No, the plant will not die. What will happen? This part will swell. This part will swell after some day. This way, swelling will be seen here. What does it indicate? Dear children, due to photosynthesis, the food is prepared in the leaves, and that food is transported to each and every part of the plant body. That food was transported to the root also, the lower part also. But here the phloem was removed, and due to removal of the phloem, due to deposition of the food prepared by the leaves, this part swell. Okay. And what will happen? This experiment is called as girdling experiment. Girdling. Girdling means what? Removing the phloem. Phloem part from all sides is removed. Means girdle is made. So this experiment is called as girdling experiment. And food prepared in the leaves will be transported to lower part. Here the phloem is removed, so there will be deposition of food here, and this part, the lower part, will swell, and slowly the lower part will die, and root will come out from here, and the plant will start from this part. So what does it prove? It proves that phloem transports food from leaf to each part of the plant. Now, forces contributing to ascent of sap. Ascent of sap means transportation of sap. What are the forces which helps in transporting water or mineral or food from one part of the plant body to other part? That part, from one part of the plant body to other part, as food is prepared in the leaves and is transported to each and every part of the plant body. Root absorbs water, and that water is sent to each and every part of the plant body. Now here a question arises: what are the forces which contributes in this ascent of sap? There are four main forces. What are those four main forces? Root pressure, which we have discussed. But root pressure, what do you think? In a palm tree or eucalyptus tree, so high tree, root pressure will reach water till the top of the coconut or palm tree? No. Root pressure can reach water in herbaceous plant, herbs, a small plant which has got soft stem, palak, dhania, ghas. So root pressure can send water in the herbaceous plant. Capillary. Dear children, you all are good in physics. Let me discuss about the capillary action. Take a beaker in which water is there. Take a tube, glass tube, and put this glass tube in the water. What do you think? In the tube, the water level will go high till here. Why? And one more thing, narrower the tube, higher the water level will be there. One capillary is here, narrow diameter, and due to capillary, the water rises in the tube. This is called capillary action, and it also contributes a force by which water reaches to each and every part of the plant body. Now, xylem plays a role of capillary, connected to each other and plays a role of capillary. And due to this capillary force, up to certain height, the water rises. Next is transpiration pull. From the leaves, continuous there is loss of water during daytime, maximum during daytime, and due to loss of water, a tendency of, and this water is pulled up. Due to loss of water, this water is pulled up. Not understood. Yes. Now suppose on your book some water droplets are there. Just do like this. After touching the water droplet, the water will fall down through that pathway. Why? Water has got tendency to attract each other. The molecules of water attract each other. You can do another thing. Take a glass seat and sprinkle some water on the glass seat. Put another glass seat over that. And now try to remove the glass seat. You have to apply a little force. There, the force of attraction is between the water molecule and the glass molecule. If the force of attraction is there between two different molecules, that is called adhesion. Adhesive means gum, chipkane wala, gum. That is called adhesion. And attraction of water molecules to the water molecules, that is called cohesion. So cohesion and adhesion are two forces which also helps the water molecule, the water, to rise from root to different part of the plant body. So imagine, children, the height of the plant may be 20 meter. That water which is absorbed by the root reaches the top of the tree. So it is clear. Now, food which is prepared in the leaves, that is very easy to send, because due to force of gravitation that comes down easily. But movement of water molecule, water is against the law of gravity, going against gravitation. So that require force, and that four forces are root pressure, capillarity, transpiration pull means cohesion, and adhesion. And downward movement of sap is due to gravitational pull. One more thing. Have you drank this coconut water? Quite sweet. Why it is sweet? Yes, the coconut, the raw coconut is green in color. Means due to presence of chloroplast. And that does the work of photosynthesis. And what is the end product of photosynthesis? Glucose. Due to dissolving glucose in that water, the coconut water becomes sweet. So dear children, we have finished the topic. Next video, we will discuss the next topic. Thank you very much.